So amino acids, why they matter. One of the things that is heavily tested on the MCAT are amino acids, and we have to know them very well. And the reason sometimes it can be kind of frustrating to spend so much time on amino acids, but the reason we have to spend so much time on them is because they're so vital and to human function and human processes. So if we think from an overview of why amino acids are important or what amino acids are involved in, we're going to want to remember that the central dogma, which is that DNA goes to RNA and goes to protein. And outside of the central dogma, to go to DNA, to RNA, to protein, we have amino acids that have to go into that. When we're looking at functions of proteins and polypeptides in biological systems, they can function as enzymes, they can function as hormones, they're the main actors of the genetic code, they're membrane pores and receptors, and they're elements of cell structure. And when we're looking at these functions, there's generally two categories for proteins and for polypeptides. They can be enzymatic or they can be non-enzymatic. And under the enzymatic side, we have 6 types of enzymes. And we can remember them with Lil Hot. The 6 types of enzymes are going to be ligases, isomerases, lyases, hydrolases, oxidoreductases, and transferases. When we are looking at non-enzymatic protein or polypeptide function, this can affect things in a number of ways in the body. 1 is through cellular functions, 2 is through hormones, 3 is through biosignaling, 4 is through protein isolation, and 5 is through protein analysis. And we can look at all of these elements a bit more at the granular level and looking at the different pieces that are involved, and we'll need to learn these parts. But it's just important to remember that this is why amino acids are so important. This is why we spend so much time learning them on the MCAT, because to understand, they're a part of everything else, everything that we need to survive, everything that we need to function. And so we're also going to want to know how we create amino acids. They can be created through Strecker synthesis or Gabriel synthesis. And there's just, we're going to go looking at it more closely. This is just an overview of why amino acids matter and why we spend so much time learning them. And hopefully through knowing how important they are and knowing why they are so involved in, knowing that they are so involved in all the processes in our body is why they are so important, and it's why we spend so much time learning them for the MCAT, and why we have to really commit them to memory.